Hello, welcome to the Sight of Greece podcast. Sight is a symbolic representation for the portal between present reality and one's mind. By creating characters with abnormal amounts of eyes, Greek authors could open a window to the degree of which a person understands and perceives reality. So, how did Greeks characterize people based on their relative abilities to see, and how did this correlate to their ability to interpret the world? In this episode, we will discuss how the Greeks used blindness to characterize a character. A prime example of this was Tiresias. Tiresias was a simple man, blinded by Athena after he saw her swimming in a pool naked. She took his eyes away, but he was given the gift of prophecy. He could no longer see what was surrounding him, but now he could see something infinitely more valuable: the future. As discussed in Alfred Schultz's Tiresias, Our Knowledge of Future Events, on page 2, Tiresias's present is what will eventually materialize as the world's future. This made him extremely wise, so characters such as Oedipus from Oedipus Rex and Odysseus from the Odyssey sought after his help to predict the future. In the text Oedipus Rex, Oedipus forced Tiresias to tell him a prophecy, even though Tiresias tried with all his might to withhold the information. Tiresias claimed Oedipus would be better off without this knowledge, knowing men are usually better off without knowing what is to come. Tiresias said,
"You mock my blindness, do you? But I say that you, with both your eyes, are blind. You cannot see the wretchedness of your life, nor in whose house you live, nor with whom. You do not even know the blind wrongs that you have done them, on earth and in the world below."
in Oedipus Rex by Sophocles. Tiresias himself was enlightened by his blindness, and those who could see clearly were ignorant, missing what was directly in front of them. Tiresias also referenced Oedipus mocking his blindness, confirming that those with limited sight, or without sight at all, were considered inferior to the general population. However, his blindness was a window into the unknown, mysterious world of the future that he could now understand since he was no longer distracted by worldly matters, such as sight. Eyes were seen as a window to worldly tactics, and if they were removed, the person could truly understand the world as it was. For this reason, Tiresias was referred to as the blind seer. Compared to the two-eyed heroes and gods of Greek mythology, it is clear that having no eyes was considered a characteristic of wisdom, because those who can no longer see are given the ability to see what others cannot. They can see just beyond the physical world into the space of the mysterious and unknown, giving them near godlike gifts. The view of having blind characters possess prophetic qualities is still present in modern-day literature and media due to this mythological influence. There is something intrinsically fascinating to equate those who cannot physically see with being able to see into another realm of reality. This is present in every genre, from fantasy to science fiction in the modern day, thanks to mythological characters like Tiresias. However, blindness was also seen as a handicap, which is presented when Oedipus believed himself to be superior to Tiresias, just because of the fact that he was blind. However, blindness was rarely used to signify disability in Greek myths, and usually had a correlation to a gift from the gods or a direct punishment from them. It distanced people from the physical world and pushed them to rely on something else, potentially something higher. Clearly, blindness had a very significant meaning in ancient Greek mythology, which is still represented today. The blind were prophets, and their prophecies guided the heroes and villains of myths as they have been in literature ever since Oedipus Rex and the Odyssey. They assisted journeys, guiding characters on priceless paths into the unknown. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Sight of Greek podcast. Really appreciate your listening and getting to know the blind characters of Greek mythology.